Welcome back everyone, and thank you for tuning into Future Speed Hub, the channel where we explore some of the rarest, most powerful, and most fascinating military vehicles in history. Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary and unusual assault vehicles of World War II, a machine that still captures the imagination of historians, collectors, and enthusiasts alike. This is the Sturmtiger, also officially known as the Sturmtiger 606 quarters, a war machine that stood out not because of its numbers, but because of its sheer destructive power and unique design. The Sturmtiger was built on the chassis of the famous Tiger I heavy tank, known for its strong armor and powerful gun. However, instead of a conventional tank cannon, the Sturmtiger carried a massive 380mm rocket-propelled mortar, a weapon designed specifically to obliterate fortified structures, bunkers, and city defenses. Just a single shot from this enormous gun could bring down an entire building, making it one of the most feared weapons of the battlefield. Unlike mass-produced tanks, the Sturmtiger was extremely rare. Only about 18 units were ever completed, between 1944 and 1945, during the final years of the war. Its main purpose was to assist in urban combat, where traditional tanks often struggled against fortified enemy positions. It saw action in battles such as the Warsaw Uprising and the defense of Berlin. Because of its limited production and specialized role, the Sturmtiger has become one of the rarest armored vehicles of the Second World War. In terms of protection, the Sturmtiger was heavily armored. Its frontal armor reached up to 150mm thick, angled to increase its ability to withstand anti-tank fire. However, this heavy protection came at a cost. Weighing over 65 tons, the vehicle was very slow, with a maximum speed of just around 40 km per hour. It was not designed for fast maneuvers but rather for raw firepower and survivability in the harshest environments. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Sturmtiger was its ammunition. Unlike regular tank shells, its rounds were massive rockets, each weighing around 350 kilograms. To load these huge projectiles, the vehicle carried a small crane mounted at the rear, used to lift them into the breech of the mortar. This meant that the rate of fire was slow compared to other tanks, but when a rocket was launched, the destruction it caused was on a completely different scale. Operationally, the Sturmtiger was not used often. Its size, weight, and fuel demands made it difficult to deploy. However, whenever it did appear on the battlefield, it was a psychological weapon as much as a physical one. The devastating power of its rockets could destroy strongholds in just a few shots, striking fear into both soldiers and civilians in its path. Today, only a handful of Sturmtigers survive, carefully preserved in military museums across Germany, Russia, and the United States. Because of their rarity and unique history, they are considered priceless relics of the Second World War. For collectors and historians, the Sturmtiger represents not only a fascinating piece of engineering but also a symbol of Germany's desperate attempts to find superweapons in the final stages of the war. When it comes to value, if one were ever available on the private market, it would be worth an incredible amount. Experts estimate that a Sturmtiger in preserved condition could be valued at well over $3 million, possibly much more if sold at auction, depending on its condition and authenticity. That's the equivalent of more than 100 million Thai baht, placing it among the most valuable armored vehicles ever created. The Sturmtiger is not just a war machine. It represents innovation born out of necessity, a combination of the Tiger I's legendary durability with one of the most destructive rocket mortars ever designed. While it did not change the course of the war, it left behind a lasting legacy as one of the most remarkable armored vehicles in history. And that's the story of the Sturmtiger. A rare, powerful, and unforgettable vehicle that remains a highlight of military history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our future uploads. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Do you also want me to make a shorter YouTube description with hashtags and keywords for this video, so you can upload it directly?